Works, and with me this morning is speech language pathologist Robin Edwards. She's also the co-founder of Therapy Works, and we're going to chat a little bit about something that was just commemorated, which was the World Down Syndrome Day last week, which was the 21st of March. And we're just going to chat a little bit about that and things that pertain to Down syndromes and speech in regards to Down syndrome. Yeah. So, like, there's some figures. There's 1 in every 700 births. People with Down who are born with Down syndrome.
Yes, yeah.
And it's caused by a third copy of the chromosome 21.
Yeah, which is why it's celebrated, or honored on the March 21st.
Right.
Because it's the third part or full copy of chromosome 21.
Yes, exactly. All right. So, do children born with Down syndrome have speech and language delays?
So. Sorry, I heard you all talking about it earlier, but I just want to give a big shout out to our Special Olympians that just got back on Friday. How awesome were they, man?
57 medals.
I read 59. I mean, potato at that point, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Like 57, 59 is amazing.
Everything.
They did so well, really. Those athletes, I mean, I'm really proud. I know a few of the Olympians that went, and I just...
Yeah, Kelly was here this morning.
Yeah. Was she here this morning too?
Yeah, it was fantastic to see her here. Big smile on her face as usual.
Yeah. I wonder if she'll be back at work this afternoon. We'll have to have a little celebration for her on her return, you know. So I just wanted to slide that in there, we're really proud of them.
Yeah, definitely proud of them.
So in terms of, going back to your question.
Right.
So yes, many kids with Down syndrome may be born with speech and language challenges. So, first step is to find a speech therapist, see how you can help. Hopefully today I'm going to give you a few just very general tips as to what you can do as a parent,
All right. So, when we're speaking of speech language pathology, speech, yes, but there's also hearing involved. Are children with Down syndrome prone to hearing loss?
So, yeah, actually, that's a good question because the eustachian tube, or the tube that runs from the ears, is usually a little thinner and shorter.
Okay.
And
so what does that mean for them?
So they end up with fluid behind the eardrum, and that can affect hearing. So, find an audiologist, talk to your pediatrician. Your pediatrician can help with this. And why it's important and how it relates to speech is because any hearing loss will affect how well you are, learning language.
Right. Yes. Well, you're a speech language pathologist, and you use different strategies in which to help them with issues surrounding speech and language.
Right.
Now, what are some of the strategies that parents can use at home to help their loved ones with Down syndrome?
Sure. So, the first and kind of one of the simplest is to model, repeat it. So, kids with Down syndrome, they need more stimulation. They need more repetitions of words, of phrases for them to learn it, to be able to say it, as well as for them to learn it, to be able to understand it, right? So model it. So if your kid he's playing with a car, you model it. Oh, you playing with a car. It's a blue car, a car. And you say the word over and over, and that's how they're going to learn that word and what that word means.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes. And what are some of the other strategies we can use?
Okay, what else? So some of the others is, I think one of the main ones that I want to talk about today, it's called total communication. While many kids with Down syndrome will speak, they will use speech as their primary way of communicating. When they're learning that skill, we want to encourage and facilitate communication through any means possible. And so that includes things like sign language, while their muscles are figuring out how to form sounds. They can use their hands to communicate. It includes things like pictures, picture exchange. It can also include things like synthesized voice or electronic communication, where you use a device that speaks for you, that in essence becomes your voice.
Yes.
And then in addition to that, when you're talking to your kid and trying to build this language-rich atmosphere at home, don't forget that all your senses should be involved. You smell it, you touch it, you look at it, you listen to it, whatever the noun or the concept, that you're trying to teach the child. try to use a very holistic, multi-sensory
and
approach.
not just verbal.
Yes,
You know,
not
that
just
require the
you know
speech and hearing.
one just sound, like
Right.
use all of it, you know. And then really the kind of another one that you can use that's pretty simple is read to your child. Reading is this amazing gift that we have that we kind of take for granted, you know. We read, but reading to your kid gives them experiences that they may not yet have encountered in
Right.
their real
Yes.
life. And it exposes them to, oh gosh, I read something the other day. Let's Read is a nonprofit, and it said something like a kid that's read to for 20 minutes daily is exposed to like millions of words more than
Right.
a child that is not.
Right.
You know?
Yes, you know, and
Yeah.
that makes a lot of sense, you know, and
Yeah.
something as simple as that, 20 minutes a day reading to your child, the type of impact it would have on them in the long run.
It's
as well.
huge. It's huge. Vocabulary building, you know, it's invaluable.
Definitely invaluable. And Robin Edwards, I want to thank you for joining us this morning again and sharing everything that Therapy Work shares with us, and you know, just the amazing approach you take toward therapy and inclusiveness in a holistic way, as you rightly said.
Yeah.
You know, I want to
So,
thank you for
well,
joining us this morning.
Thank you for having us again. It's always good to be here. Feels
Yes.
like coming home now, man. I'm used to it. Just joking.
Exactly.
All right.
So
Thanks,
we are going to
Gary.
jump back across
Yeah.
the Rishi over here.